Hey YouTube, Devin here with Comics Stuff. Welcome back. Happy Friday. I hope everybody enjoyed their week. I know that I did. Check this out. I am wearing my brand new Comics and Stuff official t-shirt. Heck yeah. You can get something just like this at the Redbubble website, which I will put a link to in the description below. But anyways, enough self-promotion. Today's video is about 6 wartime heroes that you've never heard from DC Comics. So this video is part of my DC niche playlist. The playlist kind of focuses on characters from DC Comics that you've probably never heard of because they had so few appearances, but still somehow made a splash. You know, I've done like a couple other of these videos. One was for romance characters, the other one was for Western characters. So this one is for wartime characters who are part of the United States military. And at the beginning of each video, I have a big name DC character, and I'm going to be comparing their amount of appearances to the rest of these characters. So the example character for this video is Wonder Woman, who has had over 1,800 story arcs since DC Comics started. So since 1938, Wonder Woman has appeared over 1,800 times. All of these characters have appeared less than 200 times or in less than 200 story arcs. So you can see the giant difference between the two. So that's kind of what I'm using for scale, just to let you guys know. But I'm just going to dive right into it. I'm really excited. This is actually, this list that I'm doing, the wartime characters, are the ones that, this is the list that actually got this whole playlist started. So I've been waiting to do this one. I'm really excited. I hope you guys enjoy it. So the first wartime character that you guys have never heard of is, sorry, I have my notes here like always, Captain Storm. Or Captain William Storm. He first appeared in Captain Storm #1, I believe that was in 1964, and he was a sea captain, you know, got a peg leg and all that stuff, and he teamed up with other retired feature characters, such as like Gunner, Johnny Cloud, Sarge, Pooch, who else? Ona. And they formed the Losers, which is a popular military-esque, like, you know, squad that was in DC Comics. The Losers, I believe, as a group, are actually also on this list. So I'll be telling you a little bit more about them. But Captain Storm had his own run of comic books with a total appearance count of 89 appearances in the DC universe. I think his own line of comics, the Captain Storm comics, had like 12 to 17 books. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I didn't write it down, but you know. Next up, this one is a pretty important character, Mademoiselle Marie. So Mademoiselle Marie, her first name was Marie, her last name was unknown, so it was never actually revealed. She first appeared in Star Spangled War Stories number 84. That was 1959, and I mean, it's an expensive book to get a hold of, and I'll tell you why. If you guys follow Batman, you'll find out that Mademoiselle Marie and Alfred Pennyworth, when he was part of the British Secret Service, actually had a romance and gave birth to a daughter who was Julia Pennyworth. They had an affair, and they were lovers, and they had Julia Pennyworth. So if you guys have ever seen Alfred's daughter Julia, her mom was Mademoiselle Marie. The last time she actually appeared was in a flashback in Detective Comics 502, which was in 1981, and she only has a total appearance count of 32 throughout the DC universe, but still, she made a big splash nonetheless, having an affair with the Alfred Pennyworth. So, coming up next is Blackhawk. So Blackhawk was originally actually created by Quality Comics as in like an unnamed military ace. His first appearance is also quite expensive. He first appeared in Military Comics #1 in 1941, so he's a true Golden Age character. And after DC purchased Quality Comics, he was given a name, which was Jacob, last name I can't pronounce, Prohaska. And he was given a backstory as like a Polish war hero who was fighting against the Nazi regime after losing his siblings to, you know, Nazis. So he became like a Polish war hero, and it's really cool. He also actually got a serial film that was put out by Columbia Pictures in 1952, one of the first like comic book character people to get any sort of feature film. I mean, obviously there's Batman and Superman in the 40s, but, you know, very, very early superhero serial film. He has a total of 188 appearances in the DC or in the Quality Comics universe, and in DC he has a total of 69 appearances. So cumulatively, it's a little over 200, I know, but just because of the circumstance, I went ahead and made an exception. So that's Blackhawk. Moving on, so the losers, like I said, the losers were going to be a part of this video. The losers first appeared in GI Combat number 138 in 1969. They made a total of 70 appearances as a group, and they met their apparently the losers met their fate in the Losers Special number 1, which was in 1985. They were fighting Nazis, and they died saving the lives of their friends from in Easy Company. Now, if you're an avid comic book fan, especially if you're a collector of war comics, you know of Easy Company. That is the big name, or one of the big names in DC War Comics, Easy Co. So the losers apparently died saving their lives. Now, while the squad was only made like 70 appearances, each character has anywhere between 60 to 140 appearances alone, like individually. Now, I kind of went over the characters earlier. You have Gunner Sarge, Pooch, Captain Storm, and Johnny Cloud and Ona. So between those characters, yeah, they have anywhere between 60 to 140 appearances individually, but as a group, yeah, and they all apparently died. Now, next is another group, the Boy Commandos. I didn't actually hear about the Boy Commandos until I started researching this stuff as well. So the Boy Commandos, they were led by Captain Rip Carter. I'm assuming Rip meant Ripley, just like Rip Hunter. His first name is Ripley, but in any case. So the Boy Commandos were made up of orphans, originally consisted of characters named Andre, Alfie, Jan, and Dan. Though members were replaced over time. Okay, so, they switched out every now and then when kids got older, when, whatever. So you saw their first... They saw the first appearance of one of the funniest villains in comic book history, in my opinion, Crazy Quilt. If you guys know who Crazy Quilt is, or don't know who it is, he's a crazy guy who knits. He's a villain. Anyways, and other cool story, the Boy Commandos were actually created by the amazing team of Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. So that's cool. They made a total of 163 appearances in the DC Universe. And then last but not least on this list, this is the Enemy Ace. So the Enemy Ace, he's a little more iconic. He had his first appearance, I believe, in Showcase Comics. First appeared in Our Army at War 151 in 1965. I believe his second or third appearance was in Showcase Comics. He was a German war pilot during World War I and World War II, so he was actually, that's why he's called the Enemy Ace. He was fighting on the side of the Nazis, and this was an American comic being published about a Nazi character and kind of following his path. And of course, eventually he surrendered and changed his ways, because nobody likes a Nazi, or at least I don't. If you like Nazis, you're on the wrong channel. But anyways, so he fought with the Third Reich until his plane was shot down. He came across a death camp, and he was disgusted by what he saw, because he was just fighting the war. He wasn't actually a part of like exterminating Jews or whatever. He was just fighting the Americans and fighting the British, and that was really it. So he didn't see the horribleness. Now, he after discovering this death camp, he convinced his squad mates to turn a new cheek and surrender to the Americans, and he actually ended up making a good life for himself in America and changing his ways for the better. A lot of DC characters are actually descended from him. Off the top of my head that I wrote down, I know that Swamp Thing, or at least one of the incarnations of Swamp Thing, is a descendant of Hans von Hammer, or the Enemy Ace. And then this character has made a total of 112 appearances throughout the DC universe. So those are your 6 wartime characters that you guys have never heard of. Some of them I never heard of until I was researching. I hope that this video was enjoyable, albeit quick. If I can do anything better, or if you guys have a suggestion for a type of character you want to see, please make sure you put it in the comments below. Like and share the video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. The links are in the description below. I don't know why I went up, but down. And yeah, make sure you guys support the Redbubble. Come on, get your awesome comics and stuff t-shirts. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week.